Stop scrolling right now. Do not scroll past this moment, not because I need your attention, but because I am reaching for you. You were not guided here randomly. Out of everything you could have watched, out of every direction your mind could have wandered, you are here because I timed this interruption with precision. Listen carefully, my beloved child, this is not coincidence. This is my hand. I see the restlessness you have been carrying. I see the way you can be surrounded by familiar routines and still feel unsettled. I see you doing the same things you used to do, talking to the same people, walking through the same doors, and yet something in you keeps whispering, this is not it. I see you lying down at night and your body is tired, but your spirit is pacing. I see you waking up and the day has not even begun, yet you already feel a quiet pressure in your chest. Like you are late for something you cannot name, and you keep asking yourself, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just be content? Why can't I just settle back into what used to work? Nothing is wrong with you. You are not unstable. You are not losing your mind, and you are not ungrateful. What you are feeling is not confusion, it is guidance. That discomfort you keep trying to explain away, that strange inner pull that won't leave, that impatience with what used to satisfy you, that is me. That is my spirit tapping on the inside of your ribcage, turning your attention toward what your eyes have not seen yet. I am interrupting you because I love you too much to let you remain comfortable in a place that cannot carry the weight of what I put inside you. You thought the restlessness meant something was falling apart, but hear me, it is coming into alignment. You thought the shaking meant you were failing, but it is me loosening what has been holding you in place. You thought you were simply overthinking, but I am awakening discernment. I am not the author of confusion, and I am not stirring you up to torment you. I am stirring you up to move you. I am stirring you up to protect you, because if you stay where you are out of fear, out of loyalty, out of habit, what I planted in you will begin to suffocate quietly, not with a dramatic collapse, but with a slow dimming you will try to call normal. Listen to me, my beloved child. Your gift cannot grow in the wrong soil. It does not matter how safe the soil looks. It does not matter how familiar it feels. It does not matter that other people are thriving there, or that you once did. Wrong soil does not always look dangerous. Sometimes wrong soil looks like stability. Sometimes it looks like a paycheck. Sometimes it looks like a relationship you have outgrown, but you keep watering because you remember what it used to be. Sometimes it looks like a place that applauded your beginning but resents your becoming, and you keep telling yourself, at least it's secure. But security without assignment becomes a cage. I did not place that hunger in you for you to ignore it. I did not place that vision in you for you to bury it. I did not give you a gift for you to shrink it down so it can be tolerated. I refuse to let what I placed inside you wither in the wrong soil. And yes, I know that soil has a name. I know it has a history. I know you have memories there. I know you have roots there that feel like loyalty. But hear me, roots can hold you steady, or roots can hold you back. And there comes a moment when growth demands relocation, not because the old place was evil, but because the old place has reached its limit with you. You have been trying to interpret your discomfort as a personal flaw. You have been blaming yourself for not being able to just push through. But I am telling you now, sometimes what feels like instability is actually me guiding you out before damage happens. Sometimes what feels like boredom is actually me removing the taste for what would keep you small. Sometimes what feels like irritation is actually your spirit rejecting what your destiny can no longer digest. I am not punishing you with restlessness. I am steering you with it. And I know you have been asking for signs. I know you have been asking for clarity. I know you have been whispering, God, if this is you, make it plain. This is me making it plain. This is me speaking through the agitation you cannot shake. This is me speaking through the heaviness that appears when you try to commit to a path I did not author. This is me speaking through the quiet relief you feel when you imagine a different direction, even if it scares you. That relief is not fantasy. That relief is confirmation beginning to form. Do not call it random when your spirit keeps leaning towards something new. Do not call it just a phase when your appetite changes. Do not call it too much when your heart starts refusing to settle for what does not match your calling. I see the way you try to silence it by keeping busy. I see the way you try to distract yourself so you don't have to feel the truth rising, but you cannot outrun what I am revealing. You cannot drown out what I am awakening, and you do not have to be afraid of it. I am not here to scare you. I am here to secure you. I am putting my hand on your scrolling because you were about to keep moving past the very sentence that would explain your season. You were about to keep telling yourself, maybe I'm just tired, when the truth is I am calling you higher. You were about to keep forcing yourself to fit when I am preparing you to flourish. I am not asking you to leap without me. I am asking you to stop pretending you don't feel my pull. So breathe, my child. Take that deep breath you have been holding back. Let your shoulders drop for a moment. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not stuck. You are being redirected. And the reason it feels urgent is because what I am protecting in you is precious. Your gift is alive, and it is growing, and it is pushing against the walls of what used to contain it. That pressure you feel is not your enemy. It is your expansion. Stay with me right here. Do not scroll away, because in this restlessness, I am giving you direction. In this discomfort, I am giving you a map. In this inner pull, I am giving you proof that you are still sensitive to my voice. And I would rather interrupt your routine than allow your calling to be buried under familiarity. I am speaking now, and I am holding you now, and I am letting you know plainly, tenderly, urgently, this is my hand, and your next soil is already on my mind. And now hear me, my beloved child, because I am about to relieve you of the guilt you have been carrying. You have been wondering why what used to fit you now feels heavy. You have been asking yourself why you can walk into the same room, sit in the same seat, do the same routine, and yet your chest tightens, like something inside you is bracing for impact. I see that heaviness you cannot explain. I see how you take a deep breath before you step into certain places, not because you are dramatic, not because you are weak, but because your spirit already knows what your mouth keeps trying to deny. I see the irritability that shows up in spaces you used to enjoy. I see you forcing a smile, trying to be normal, trying to be grateful, trying to convince yourself you should still want this, you should still be excited, you should still feel at home. I see you leaving those places and feeling drained in a way sleep cannot fix. I see the sudden fatigue that comes around certain people, the way your energy drops, the way your shoulders get heavy, the way you become quiet. Not because you hate them, not because you think you are better than them, but because something in you is starving for depth, and you keep being served what no longer feeds you. Why do the doors feel tight now? Why do you feel like you have to squeeze your calling through spaces that once felt wide? Why do conversations feel shallow, like you are standing in water that used to refresh you, but now it only reaches your ankles? Why are you bored with what used to excite you? Why does the same entertainment feel empty? Why do the same jokes feel hollow? Why do the same goals feel like you are chasing a version of yourself that you have already left behind? Listen carefully, this is not you becoming ungrateful. This is you becoming aligned. You are not too sensitive. You are not hard to please. You are not impossible. You are growing. And growth, my child, is not always loud and obvious. Sometimes growth feels like discomfort. Sometimes growth feels like restlessness. Sometimes growth feels like you cannot settle, not because you are unstable, but because I am expanding your capacity, and your old environment cannot hold what I am increasing. You are feeling friction because you are no longer the same size in the spirit, but you keep trying to wear the same space like it still fits. There was a time when that soil held you. There was a season when it covered you, when it protected you, when it gave you what you needed. And I am not asking you to dishonor what helped you survive. I am not calling it evil because you are outgrowing it. I am not condemning the place, the people, the routine, the job, the circle, the setting. I am simply telling you the truth. It is not designed for your next level. The soil has shifted. And because the soil has shifted, what once felt like home now feels like heaviness. Do you feel it? That internal resistance when you try to recommit to what I have already graduated you from? Do you feel how your spirit pulls back when your mind tries to make excuses to stay? Do you feel the way your peace flickers when you force yourself to say yes to things that used to be easy? That is not rebellion. That is not laziness. That is discernment forming. That is maturity awakening. That is my spirit teaching you spiritual incompatibility, teaching you that something can be familiar and still be wrong for your future. Because wrong soil does not always attack you. Sometimes it applauds you until you start growing beyond what it can control. Sometimes it embraces you until you need more room than it is willing to give. Sometimes it feels safe until it becomes small. And you have been feeling small, haven't you? Not small in your value, but small in your expression, small in your voice, small in your joy, small in your vision. Like you keep editing yourself so you do not make other people uncomfortable. Like you keep shrinking your sentences and swallowing your dreams so you can remain easy to understand. But I did not design you to be managed by comfort. I designed you to be led by purpose. So let me say it plainly. The reason it feels heavy is because you are carrying a future in a place that only has capacity for your past. The reason you feel out of place is because you have outgrown the place. The reason you feel like you are watching life through a window, like you are present but not connected, is because your spirit is no longer rooted there the way it used to be. And you have been blaming yourself for that disconnect, as if something is wrong with your heart. But I am telling you, your heart is functioning. Your spirit is awake. You are sensing that your assignment has changed. And I know you have been trying to talk yourself out of it. I know you have been saying, maybe I'm just tired, maybe I'm just stressed, maybe I'm just going through something. Yes, you are going through something. You are going through growth. You are going through transition. You are going through the stretching that happens right before relocation. And I am letting the heaviness speak to you, not to torment you, but to tell you the truth you keep avoiding. You cannot keep pretending a chapter is still your calling when I have already written the next page. You are not dishonoring yesterday by acknowledging you no longer fit there. You are not betraying anyone by admitting your spirit is hungry for something different. You are not failing because the old ways no longer satisfy you. That is evidence that I have been doing a work in you. That is evidence that you are not stuck. That is evidence that you are not numb. That is evidence that you are alive to my voice. So, stop accusing yourself. Stop carrying shame for your own expansion. Stop calling your growth attitude. Stop calling your discernment negativity. Stop calling your maturity distance. Sometimes I make you uncomfortable in a place you begged me for, not because I was wrong to give it to you, but because that place was a bridge, not a home. It was a season, not a sentence. It was provision for then, not permission to stay forever. And I want you to receive this with peace. You are not crazy for feeling it. You are not alone for feeling it. You are not the only one who looks around and wonders, why do I feel like I don't belong anymore? That question is not a problem. That question is a signal. Feeling out of place is often the sign you have outgrown the place. And I am not letting you feel that heaviness to punish you. I am letting you feel it to prepare you, because when I shift your soil, I also shift your discernment, so you will not settle for what cannot sustain the gift I placed inside you. And now, my beloved child, I need you to hear me slowly, because your heart has been interpreting my protection as rejection. You have been looking at what is ending, what is changing, what is no longer working, and you have been asking, why would God take this from me? Why would God let this fall apart? Why would God let me feel this far from what I thought was mine? Listen carefully. I am not removing you to harm you. I am relocating you to align you. I am not tearing you down. I am positioning you. I am not punishing you. I am protecting what I put inside you. I see how you grieve what is shifting. I see how your stomach turns when you realize you cannot go back to the way it was. I see how you replay conversations, replay decisions, replay moments, wondering if you said the wrong thing, chose the wrong thing, moved too fast, or didn't move fast enough. And you have been carrying that quiet accusation. Maybe I failed. Maybe I missed it. Maybe God is disappointed in me. No, my child, not because you failed, but because I favor you, I am moving you. Not because you are forgotten, but because I remember every promise I spoke over you, I am aligning you. Not because you are disqualified, but because you are being prepared for what requires a different ground, I am relocating you. There are places you begged me to keep you that I refused, because I could see what you could not see. There were doors you tried to reopen that I held shut, because I knew what was behind them would eventually break you. And I know, to your human eyes, it looked like loss, it looked like delay, it looked like rejection. But in the realm where I see the whole road, it was mercy, it was rescue. It was me blocking what would have cost you peace. It was me canceling what would have demanded you shrink. It was me interrupting what would have stolen years from you while calling it normal. Do you understand, my beloved child? I do not lead you by confusion. I lead you by love. and love does not always feel like comfort in the moment. Sometimes love feels like a firm hand when you are about to step into something that looks good but is not safe for your assignment. Sometimes love feels like the thing you wanted not working out because I refuse to let you build a future on a foundation that cannot hold you. Sometimes love looks like a closed door because if it stayed open, you would have walked in with your pure heart and your hopeful spirit, and you would have called it blessing while it slowly drained you. I am your father. I am not careless with you. I am not experimenting with your life. I am not watching you struggle from a distance. I am close. I am involved. I am intentional. And when I remove you, it is not abandonment, it is guidance. It is not exile, it is escort. It is not me pushing you away, it is me leading you forward. The same hand that held you in the last season is the hand holding you now, even if the scenery is changing, even if the people are changing, even if the plan is changing. I have not changed my mind about you. You have been thinking, if God was with me, it wouldn't be this hard to stay. But hear me. Sometimes it is hard to stay because I am not calling you to stay. Sometimes the heaviness is not the devil attacking you, it is my spirit pressing on your conscience, saying, this is not where you plant your next decade. Sometimes the frustration is not your attitude, it is your alignment pulling against what is misaligned. And I know that offends the part of you that wants certainty, because relocation requires trust before it offers proof. But I do not ask you to trust blindly. I ask you to trust me, the one who has carried you through what should have crushed you, the one who has sustained you when you did not even know how you were still standing. So let me reframe what you keep calling loss. That friendship that faded, that opportunity that didn't respond, that job that felt like it suddenly turned cold, that relationship that became heavy, that environment that stopped making room for you. My child, not all endings are warfare. Some endings are instruction. Some endings are protection. Some endings are simply the moment a season expires. And I am not letting you stay in expired soil and call it loyalty, because loyalty to the past becomes disobedience to your future when I am the one moving you. I need you to release this fear that relocation means you are being set back. I need you to release this lie that being moved means you are being demoted. I am not moving you down. I am moving you into place. I am not removing you because you are too much. I am relocating you because what I put in you requires room. It requires air. It requires water. It requires sunlight. And you have been trying to bloom in a corner where your leaves keep brushing against a ceiling that was never meant to be your sky. And I know you have been praying, God, just tell me, you're still here. My beloved child, I have been here the whole time. I was there when you stared at the ceiling and felt that ache in your chest. I was there when you walked into that room and felt your spirit withdraw. I was there when you smiled for people who would never notice how tired you were. I was there when you tried to make peace with staying, and something inside you would not settle. That was not you being difficult. That was me refusing to let you numb out and call it peace. Because my peace does not require you to abandon yourself. My peace does not require you to betray your calling. My peace does not require you to live half alive, just to keep everything familiar. So listen, if I am removing you, it is because I am aligning you. If I am closing a door, it is because I am covering you. If I am shifting your ground, it is because I am securing your growth. You are not being thrown away. You are being transferred. You are not being overlooked. You are being repositioned. You are not being punished. You are being parented gently, firmly, faithfully into the place where your gift will not just survive, but thrive. And I want you to breathe as you receive this promise. I will not relocate you and then abandon you. Where I send you, I will go with you. When I move you, I will sustain you. When I shift you, I will steady you. I am not removing you to harm you. I am relocating you to align you. And when you finally look back, you will realize the door you cried about was the door that saved you, and the ending you feared was the beginning I was protecting. Now listen carefully, my beloved child, because I am about to teach you how to read what you have been calling rejection. You have been counting the closed doors like they are verdicts against you. You have been taking every no, every silence, every stalled plan, every sudden disqualification, and you have been letting it speak to your identity. But I am telling you the truth. Closed doors are coordinates. They are not curses. They are not humiliation. They are not me forgetting you. They are me directing you without exposing you to harm. Pay attention to the pattern. I know you have tried more than once. I know you submitted the application again. I know you sent the email, then you followed up, then you waited, then you watched it go cold. I know you were excited about that opportunity, and then, at the last moment, something shifted. Someone changed their mind. The budget disappeared. The position closed. The connection stopped responding. I know you were almost approved, and then paperwork delayed. I know you found the place you thought would be your next home, and then it was suddenly taken, suddenly unavailable, suddenly not a fit, suddenly beyond reach. I know you had the plan mapped out in your mind and you were ready to move, and then the timeline stalled like someone put a hand on the clock. And you have been asking, why does it keep happening like this? Why do I keep hitting the same wall? Because I am speaking in the language of doors, my child. Because when I do not want you to walk into something that will drain you, diminish you, or delay destiny, I will not always shout. Sometimes I will simply shut the door. Sometimes I will let the path tighten. Sometimes I will let the route become unworkable. Sometimes I will allow the almost to fall apart, because you do not have the full picture, but I do. And I love you too much to let you call something answered prayer when it would become answered pain. You think rejection is always the enemy, but hear me, rejection is often the front side of protection. What you call, they didn't choose me, I call, I covered you. What you call, I didn't get in, I call, I kept you out. What you call, it fell through, I call, it could not hold you, because you keep judging the door by how badly you wanted it, and I judge the door by what it would cost you. Some doors look good because they sparkle. Some doors look right because other people celebrate them. Some doors look safe because they are familiar. But I can see what is behind them. I can see the hidden compromise. I can see the quiet manipulation. I can see the slow erosion of your peace. I can see the environment that would demand you shrink just to stay. I can see the yes that would trap you in maintenance when I ordained you for movement. And I will not let your hunger make a covenant with a place that cannot water what I planted in you. That is why, when you try to force what is not assigned, you feel that tightening. You feel it in your chest. You feel it in your stomach. You feel it in your mind racing, rehearsing, striving, trying to figure out what to say, who to call, how to convince, how to perform, how to prove. And you call that anxiety motivation. But it is not motivation. It is misalignment. It is peace leaving the room because you are attempting to build something I did not authorize. My peace does not have to be wrestled into place. My will does not require you to beg for basic access. My direction does not demand you sacrifice your dignity to be tolerated. Yes, there will be stretching. Yes, there will be faith. Yes, there will be steps that feel bold. But there is a difference between faith and force. Faith moves with me. Force moves ahead of me. And when you are forcing, you will always feel that internal strain, the sense that you are pushing a boulder uphill while your spirit whispers, "Why are we fighting this hard just to be allowed?" So I need you to stop interpreting the closed door as a statement about your worth. That door did not close because you are not gifted. That door did not close because you are not capable. That door did not close because you are not loved. That door closed because it was not your field. And I will not allow your gift to be buried under rejection, when rejection is the very sign I am redirecting you. Look at the repetition, my child. If it is the same type of no over and over, it is not because you are doomed, it is because I am drawing a boundary. If every time you try to revive that connection it collapses again, it is not because you are unworthy, it is because I am preventing attachment to what cannot follow you. If every time you try to settle into that environment, you feel your joy leak out, it is not because you are difficult, it is because your spirit is rejecting what your destiny cannot digest. If the paperwork keeps delaying, if the approval keeps stalling, if the timing keeps slipping out of your hands, do not just call it bad luck. Ask me what I am saving you from. Ask me what I am steering you toward. Because a closed door is one of my most merciful forms of direction. It is me giving you a new route without letting you get close enough to be wounded. It is me changing your coordinates without announcing every danger that was waiting for you on that road. I do not always explain what I blocked, because some knowledge would only increase your fear. Sometimes I simply move you. Sometimes I simply interrupt you. Sometimes I simply let it not work. and later you understand why you did not belong there. So do not stand outside the closed door and argue with it. Do not camp in front of what I have shut and call it perseverance. There is a perseverance that is holy, and there is a persistence that is pride. Holy perseverance obeys my leading. Prideful persistence fights my protection. And you have been exhausted, haven't you? Not because you are weak, but because you have been spending strength on a door that is not your entrance. I am not doing this to delay you. I am doing this to direct you. The closing is not the end. It is the map turning in your hands. It is the signpost shifting you toward prepared ground. You keep calling it a setback, but I am calling it a course correction. You keep calling it rejection, but I am calling it redirection. And the reason it feels like everything is narrowing is because I am funneling you, narrowing you away from distractions, away from dead ends, away from places that would applaud you while slowly draining you. Lift your eyes, my child. Stop staring at what's shut. Start watching where peace remains. Start noticing where the strain disappears. Start paying attention to the doors that open without you losing yourself to enter them. Because I am not only closing doors, I am guiding you to the one that has your name on it. And when you step into the soil I prepared, you will realize this. The doors that closed did not cancel your calling. They confirmed it. They were coordinates. They were mercy. They were me, loving you enough to say, not that way, so I could lead you safely into, this is it. And now, my beloved child, I want you to understand something that will save you years. Wrong soil does not always attack you. Sometimes it compliments you while it starves you. Sometimes it smiles at you while it limits you. Sometimes it keeps you close enough to be familiar, but never close enough to be fully seen. And because it does not look like warfare, you keep calling it normal. You keep calling it just how it is. You keep calling it being realistic. But I am showing you the warning signs, because I refuse to let what I placed inside you wither quietly. Pay attention to what you have been living with as if it is just your personality. Pay attention to the constant striving, the way you have to push and push and push just to get basic cooperation. The way you can never simply be, you always have to perform, always have to prove, always have to over-deliver, so you will not be dismissed. You keep doing more to receive less, and you have been calling that work ethic, but it is often a symptom of wrong soil. Because where I plant you, you will work. Yes, but you will not have to beg for room to breathe while you work. You will not have to fight for permission to exist. And listen carefully. One of the clearest signs you are in the wrong soil is that you are always over-explaining yourself. You are always clarifying your tone, always justifying your intentions, always translating your heart into smaller language so people do not misunderstand you. You keep editing what I placed in you so it will be easier for others to swallow. And you leave conversations feeling like you did not fully show up as yourself. You leave interactions replaying what you said, wondering if you were too much, wondering if you should have said less, wondering if you should have dimmed down again. My child, that is not humility, that is containment. I see you being tolerated instead of celebrated. I see you in rooms where your presence is allowed, but your gift is not honored, where you are included, but not valued, where you are invited, but not trusted, where they keep you around, but they do not make space for what I truly called you to carry, and you have tried to make peace with that, because you do not want to seem ungrateful. You do not want to seem demanding. But I did not put oil on you just to be tolerated. I did not give you a voice just to be managed. I did not give you vision just so you could shrink it until it fits inside someone else's comfort. There is a sign you keep ignoring, and it is this. You feel smaller after you leave, smaller in your joy, smaller in your confidence, smaller in your hope, smaller in your expectation. You walk in full, and you walk out drained, not because you are weak, but because that soil is taking more than it gives. And you have been trying to fix it by trying harder, by being nicer, by being quieter, by being more agreeable, by making yourself easier to handle. But wrong soil does not become right because you become smaller. Wrong soil simply becomes more comfortable with your shrinking. And this is how the sabotage stays invisible. My beloved child, familiar environments can normalize limitation. If you have been in that place long enough, you stop noticing how little you are growing. You stop noticing that your world has quietly gotten smaller. You stop noticing that you do not dream the way you used to dream. You stop noticing that you have been surviving instead of building, and you call it comfort. but comfort is not always rest. Sometimes comfort is containment dressed like safety. Sometimes what you call stability is simply the absence of stretching. And I did not create you to live unchallenged by purpose. Watch what happens to your spirit in wrong soil. Your prayer life starts to dull, not because you stopped loving me, but because the atmosphere around you is heavy with discouragement and repetition and spiritual sleep. You still pray, but it feels like you are pushing through fog. You still worship, but it feels like you are going through motions. You still open your mouth, but the fire is not burning the same way. And you have been blaming yourself, saying, "What is wrong with me?" Nothing is wrong with you. You are planted where your spirit is not being watered. And your creativity, listen, your creativity starts drying up. The ideas you used to carry freely now feel locked behind exhaustion. The passion you used to have now feels like a memory. You sit down to create, to build, to write, to plan, to study, to dream, and it feels like your mind is tired before it starts. That is not laziness. That is not you becoming undisciplined. That is a sign that your gift is being slowly starved by an environment that cannot feed what I planted. Your vision starts shrinking. You start praying smaller prayers. You start expecting less. You start saying, maybe this is all there is. You start negotiating with disappointment as if it is wisdom. You start lowering your standards, lowering your hopes, lowering your willingness to step out, because you have been living around people who have made peace with lack. And then comparison creeps in. Because when you are not growing, you start watching. When you are not moving, you start measuring. You start looking at what others have and wondering why you cannot get there, not realizing you have been trying to bloom in shade while others are planted in sunlight. Wrong soil does not always insult you to your face. It just slowly convinces you to doubt yourself. It slowly makes you question what I said. It slowly trains you to accept crumbs as if they are portion. It slowly teaches you to be grateful for less than what I promised. It slowly numbs you until you call numbness peace. But my peace is alive. My peace strengthens you. My peace enlarges you. My peace does not require the death of your desire. So I am warning you, and I am comforting you at the same time. If you have been feeling that constant strain, if you have been over-explaining your existence, if you have been tolerated instead of celebrated, if you have been leaving interactions feeling smaller, if your prayer has felt dull, if your creativity has dried, if your vision has shrunk, if comparison has become chronic, do not ignore it. Do not call it just life. Do not call it just getting older. Do not call it just being responsible. Ask me what soil you are in. Because I will not let what I placed in you die quietly. I will stir you until you move. I will disturb what is too tight until you stop calling it home. I will make the old routine feel heavy until you stop mistaking familiarity for assignment. I will let the strain reveal itself until you finally admit, this is not where I thrive. Not to shame you, never to shame you, but to rescue you, to protect the seed, to preserve the oil, to keep the gift from suffocating under the weight of staying. Hear me, my beloved child. If you are withering, it is not because you are broken. It is because you are planted where you cannot be fed. And I am speaking to you now because I love you too much to let you keep calling starvation loyalty. I am not exposing this to frighten you. I am exposing it to free you, because the moment you stop arguing with the symptoms is the moment you start cooperating with my relocation. And when you step into the soil I prepared, you will feel it, life returning, prayer sharpening, creativity flowing, vision expanding, comparison breaking, because what I planted in you was never meant to merely survive, it was meant to grow. And now, my beloved child, I need you to stop arguing with what has been happening inside you, because you have been confused about your own emotions. You have been looking at yourself and thinking, why don't I care the way I used to? Why doesn't this excite me anymore? Why am I struggling to show up for things that once felt easy? Listen carefully. This is why you've lost interest. Your spirit is packing before your hands do. Your appetite is changing before your address changes. Your desire is shifting before your calendar shifts, and that is not you becoming lazy. That is not you becoming cold. That is not you falling off. That is me preparing you so the move will not break you. I change your hunger before I change your location, because if I only moved your body and did not move your heart, you would arrive in the new place still craving the old season. You would drag old attachments into new assignments. You would build new doors with old keys. So I begin gently, quietly, faithfully. I start loosening your grip. I start dimming what used to thrill you. I start making the old routine feel empty, not because it was evil, but because it is expired. Not because you did not love it, but because you cannot live off yesterday's assignment and call it obedience. You can honor what once fed you without pretending it can feed you forever. I see the strange detachment you have been feeling. You still love them, but you cannot stay there. You still appreciate what that place did for you, but you cannot build your future in it. You still care, but you do not fit. And you have been feeling guilty about that, haven't you? You have been saying, "What is wrong with me? Why am I not as emotionally invested? Why do I feel like a visitor in places where I used to feel at home?" Hear me, my child. It is not that your love has died. It is that your season has changed. And I am teaching you the difference between loyalty and lingering. I am teaching you the difference between gratitude and attachment. I am teaching you how to release without becoming bitter, how to leave without needing to blame, how to move without needing a dramatic ending to justify the transition. Pay attention to what you have been doing lately, because I have been speaking through your patterns. You have been decluttering. You have been simplifying. You have been throwing away things you swore you needed. You have been cleaning drawers you ignored for years. You have been deleting numbers. You have been unfollowing what drains you. You have been craving quiet. You have been wanting your space to feel light. You have been pulling away from constant noise. You have been craving a fresh start you cannot fully explain. And you thought it was just a mood. You thought it was just getting your life together. But I am telling you, those are relocation signals. That is your spirit making room before I fill it. That is your inner world preparing for new instructions. That is you subconsciously cooperating with my alignment. Because when I am about to move you, I do not only move your feet, I move your focus, I move your taste, I move your tolerance. Suddenly, what you used to tolerate starts irritating you. Suddenly, conversations that used to entertain you start exhausting you. Suddenly, being around certain energy makes you want to go home and be alone with me. Suddenly, your soul is no longer satisfied by what used to keep you busy. And you have been worried that you are becoming too sensitive again, too serious, too quiet. No, my beloved child, you are becoming clear. You are becoming clean. You are becoming ready. And let me say this gently, because I know you have been blaming yourself. When your desire changes, I am often changing your direction. I do not only guide you with signs on the outside, I guide you with shifts on the inside. I let interest fade, so you do not have to be dragged out of places you were never meant to die in. I let the attachment loosen, so you can leave without tearing. I let the excitement dim, so you stop calling the old thing purpose when it was only a passage. I let you outgrow it, so you do not have to be wounded out of it. You have been trying to resurrect motivation. You have been forcing yourself to feel what you used to feel. You have been saying, "Come on, get it together, be grateful, be consistent, push through." And yes, there is a place for discipline. But hear me, there is also a place where you are pushing through what I am trying to pull you out of. There is also a place where your consistency becomes a chain. And I am not asking you to become unreliable. I am asking you to become honest. Honest about what is no longer feeding you. Honest about what is no longer aligned. Honest about the fact that you are not losing your fire. You are being redirected to where your fire will actually be useful. This is why you have been wanting different mornings, different routines, different surroundings, different people around you, different air, different sound, different pace. You have been imagining a life that is quieter, cleaner, freer, more ordered, more intentional. And you have been afraid to admit it, because you do not want to disappoint anyone. You do not want to seem ungrateful for what you have. But I am the one who put that desire in you. I am the one who has been whispering, "There is more than survival." I am the one who has been stirring you, not into chaos, but into alignment. And I know part of you is scared, because losing interest feels like losing stability. It feels like letting go of something familiar without yet holding the new thing in your hands. But, my child, I prepare your heart first because I love you. I do not want you stepping into new ground while still emotionally living in old ground. I do not want you building a new life while secretly grieving the old one every day. So, I start the grieving early. I start the detachment gently. I start the internal move quietly. So when the external move comes, when the door opens, when the opportunity appears, when the place becomes available, when the instruction becomes clear, you can step with courage instead of collapse. You can leave with peace instead of panic. You can move forward without feeling like you are betraying the past. So, do not condemn yourself for the fading interest. Bring it to me. Say, Father, what are you preparing me for? What are you asking me to release? What are you changing in me? And I will answer you. I will confirm you. I will steady you. Because what you are feeling is not random. It is not you losing your way. It is me leading you first in your spirit, first in your appetite, first in your inner world, so that when your hands finally pack, they will not pack in fear. They will pack in faith. They will pack in obedience. They will pack in peace. Knowing you are not walking away from provision, you are walking toward the soil where what I placed in you can finally grow. Now listen carefully, my beloved child, because I am about to correct something that has been exhausting you. You keep trying to make the old place work by force. You keep trying to make the old version of belonging fit by effort. You keep trying to squeeze destiny into familiarity because familiarity feels safer than faith. But I am telling you, do not force what I am not feeding. Do not beg for space where I did not assign you to grow. Do not keep trying to negotiate your value in environments that only tolerate you when you are small. I see you forcing conversations that should be mutual. I see you rehearsing what to say, editing your honesty, softening your truth, trying to make it land in people who are committed to misunderstanding you. I see you sending the extra message, making the extra call, offering the extra explanation, just so you can keep a connection alive that I have already outgrown in you. And you call it being mature. You call it keeping peace, but I call it you begging for room. And if you have to beg for room, it is not your field. I see you forcing loyalty, staying out of guilt, staying because you remember what they did for you, staying because you do not want to be the bad one, staying because you fear being talked about, staying because you do not want to disappoint people who are comfortable with your old capacity. And I am not rebuking your gratitude, my child. I honor your heart. But hear me, gratitude is not a contract. Appreciation is not a cage. Loyalty is holy when it is aligned, but loyalty becomes bondage when you are loyal to what is killing your growth. I see you forcing opportunities too, forcing yourself into rooms where your name is barely spoken, forcing yourself to prove you deserve what I already gave you, forcing your way into systems that profit from your labor but refuse to honor your oil, forcing the application, forcing the partnership, forcing the invitation, and you have been calling it hustle. But it is not hustle when it costs you your peace. It is striving. And striving is often the sound of you trying to build a future in soil that cannot sustain it. Stop forcing belonging. Stop forcing your laugh in spaces that make you swallow your tears on the way home. Stop forcing yourself to be easy so you will not be abandoned. Stop forcing your personality into smaller language so it will be accepted. You have been shrinking in real time, shrinking your standards, shrinking your voice, shrinking your expectations, shrinking your dreams just to stay connected to people and places that were never assigned to carry your next level. And I am telling you the truth with tenderness and protection. If you must shrink to fit, you are not in the soil I prepared for you. Not because you are too much, but because you are assigned elsewhere. Not because you are difficult, but because you are different by design. Not because you are rejected, but because you are reserved. Reserved for a room that can hold you without resenting you. Reserved for an atmosphere that strengthens you instead of steadily draining you. Reserved for a field where what I put inside you is not treated like a threat, but like a gift. Here is the rule I want you to carry in your spirit, and I want it to settle you when your emotions start bargaining with the familiar. What is for you will not require you to abandon who I made you to be. What is for you will not demand you become less honest, less alive, less pure, less hopeful, less tender, less passionate, less you. Yes, there will be stretching, but you will not be shrinking. Yes, there will be growth, but you will not be begging. Because what I prepare meets you with grace. It meets you with room. It meets you with the quiet confirmation that you do not have to audition for what I assigned. And you know exactly what I mean, because you have felt the difference. You have felt the strain of forcing where every step feels like resistance, where every interaction feels like you must calculate, where every yes feels like you had to pay with a piece of your dignity. And you have also felt, my grace, those rare moments when something opens without manipulation, when help appears without you performing, when a door swings because it is aligned. Not because you pushed until your shoulders bruised. That is how I lead, my child. I do not lead you into places where you have to beg to be treated properly. So stop returning to what I am trying to release you from. Stop circling the same mountain because it has familiar views. Stop calling it closure when it is really your fear of the unknown. Stop calling it one more try when I have already given you enough evidence. I have been showing you through the lack of room, through the constant misunderstanding, through the repeated dismissal, through the way you keep leaving drained, through the way your spirit keeps whispering, I cannot breathe here. And I am not exposing this to shame you. I am exposing it to spare you. Because relocation is not only geography. Relocation is access. Relocation is atmosphere. Relocation is alignment. Sometimes I move you by moving who can reach you. Sometimes I move you by changing what you can tolerate. Sometimes I move you by shifting the level of favor on your life until the old place can no longer contain it. Sometimes I move you by making the familiar feel tight, not because I am punishing you, but because I am protecting you from settling where you would slowly disappear. I am teaching you this so you stop confusing friction with faith. Every hard thing is not holy. Every struggle is not a sign you should stay. Sometimes the struggle is the warning. Sometimes the exhaustion is the instruction. Sometimes the fact that you have to fight for basic respect is the clearest confirmation that you are planting yourself in soil that will never water you. So I am giving you permission right now, my beloved child. Release the need to be chosen by what cannot hold you. Release the need to be understood by people who benefit from misunderstanding you. Release the need to keep proving what I already established. You do not have to beg for room. You do not have to shrink to be safe. You do not have to keep forcing familiarity just because it is what you have known. Lift your head, breathe, let your shoulders drop, because the place I am bringing you into will not require you to disappear to belong. The field I prepared for you will have space for your voice, space for your gift, space for your standards, space for your healing, space for your growth. And when you step into the right soil, you will feel it immediately. You will not be performing to be permitted. You will be planted to be fruitful. And that is why I am interrupting your forcing today, because I refuse to let you spend your life begging for room in a field that was never yours. Now, my beloved child, because I have told you to stop forcing what is not your field, you are going to ask me the question you have been whispering in the quiet. How do I know it is you? How do I know I am not just emotional? How do I know I am not just tired? How do I know I am not just running? Listen carefully and let this settle you. I do not lead my children into confusion and then mock them for needing clarity. I am a father. I am not a tyrant. And when I am truly moving you, I confirm it. I do not leave you guessing in the dark. I confirm the move in 3 ways: peace, pattern, and provision. First, peace. And I need you to understand what I mean by peace, because you keep looking for the absence of nerves, and that is not how transition works. When I call you out of the familiar, your body may shake, your mind may race, your emotions may grieve what you are leaving. But underneath the natural fear, there is a deeper yes. Beneath the nerves, there is a steadying. Beneath the questions, there is a quiet rightness that you cannot manufacture. That is, my peace. My peace does not always feel like comfort, but it always feels like truth. And truth brings peace, even when it confronts your attachments. Truth brings peace, even when it requires change. Truth brings peace, even when you have to walk by faith and not by sight. I see you trying to interpret anxiety as a warning sign that you should not move. But hear me, fear is loud and peace is deep. Anxiety screams, hurry or you will lose everything. My spirit steadies you and says, follow me and you will not be lost. Anxiety makes you feel like you must decide in a panic. My peace makes you feel like you can breathe while you decide. And yes, you may still be scared, but you will be able to pray. You will be able to think. You will be able to sleep. Even if it is not perfect sleep, you will feel your shoulders drop at random moments because your spirit recognizes my voice. That is the first confirmation, a deep, unexplainable yes beneath the trembling. Second, pattern, because I am not only the God of moments, I am the God of consistency. When I am confirming a move, I will not whisper once and disappear. I will speak again and again and again until you stop calling it coincidence. I will confirm through repeated conversations. Someone brings up a city you have been thinking about without you mentioning it. Someone offers a connection, and it lands on the exact topic you prayed over. Someone says a sentence that sounds like it came out of your secret journal. I will confirm through scripture echoes. Words you have not read in months suddenly stand up off the page, and they follow you through your day. You hear the same phrase in a sermon, then in a song, then in a random moment, and your spirit tightens because you know I am speaking. I will confirm through unusual timing, appointments that shift, delays that save you, cancellations that protect you, doors closing in one place while another door quietly opens somewhere else. I will confirm through aligned opportunities. Things you used to chase stop requiring you to chase. The email comes, the call comes, the invitation comes, the information arrives without you begging for it. The pieces start repeating the same message. It is time. And I know you are analytical. I know you like to be sure. But I will build a pattern so clear that even your logic has to bow and admit this is not random. And listen, my child, pattern is not only what opens, pattern is also what keeps breaking. The same kind of resistance, the same kind of limitation, the same kind of ceiling in the old place over and over until you finally realize you are not fighting a person, you are fighting misalignment. You keep trying to fix what keeps repeating, but the repetition is the revelation. If the same door keeps closing, if the same environment keeps draining you, if the same cycle keeps shrinking you, that is not always an attack. Sometimes it is me saying, this is not your address anymore. I will not let you mistake endurance for assignment. I will not let you call a pattern of depletion faithfulness. Pay attention to what repeats, because I speak through patterns. Third, provision. And I need you to hear this with tenderness, because some of you are afraid to move because you think relocation means lack. You think if you obey me, you will be stranded. You think if you step out, you will have to figure it out alone. No, my beloved child, where I guide, I provide. Provision is not always a suitcase full of answers on day one, but it is a sequence of doors opening in order. First, I give you information. Then I give you favor. Then I give you resources. Then I give you helpers. Then I give you clarity. I do not always give it all at once, because I am building your faith step by step, but I will not call you and then abandon you. Watch the kind of provision I send when it is me. You find the listing at the exact time you needed it. You meet someone who knows someone, and suddenly what was complicated becomes simple. You receive a discount you did not ask for. An opportunity appears that fits your gifting without you contorting yourself. A door opens that requires humility, yes, but not humiliation. You get the right counsel at the right time. You get the right confirmation at the moment you were about to doubt, and you will know it is my hand because it will not be forced. It will be arranged. It will feel like a path lighting up one step at a time. Now let me warn you, because I love you, do not confuse counterfeit urgency with my instruction. Counterfeit urgency bullies you. It rushes you. It threatens you. It says, do it now, or you will miss your entire life. It makes you anxious, scattered, reactive. It makes you cut corners, ignore wisdom, and move without prayer. But my leading, even when it is sudden, still steadies you. Even when it is fast, it is not frantic. Even when it requires courage, it does not require panic. I will never demand that you betray your peace to prove your faith. I will never call you into a move and then make you feel like you have to sin against your own discernment to obey me. So here is what I want you to do right now, my beloved child. Stop asking for one giant sign and start watching for these 3 confirmations. Ask me for peace that settles beneath the fear. Ask me for patterns you cannot deny. Ask me for provision that arrives in sequence. And when these 3 begin to align, when your spirit keeps saying yes, when the same confirmations keep repeating, and when doors begin to open, with the help you did not manufacture, you will not have to force certainty. Certainty will come as a quiet knowing. You will be able to say, I am still nervous, but I am not confused. I am still stretching, but I am not lost. Because I am not relocating you to harm you. I am relocating you to align you. And I am kind enough, and faithful enough, and intentional enough to confirm what I am commanding, so you can move with courage and not collapse with fear. And now, my beloved child, because you are watching for peace, pattern and provision, you are going to notice something else happening, and it has been confusing you. The room is getting quieter. The invitations are getting fewer. The group chat does not feel like home anymore. The conversations that used to carry you are now draining you. You walk into familiar circles, and you feel like you are speaking a language no one understands. And you have been asking, "Father, why am I alone? Why does it feel like I'm being set to the side? Why do I feel unseen right when I need support?" Listen carefully, and let this answer put your heart back in its place. Before I move you, I separate you, not to punish you, not to shame you, not to break you, but to prepare you. Because I often pull you away before I lift you up. I see the loneliness you have been carrying. I see you smiling in public and then sitting in silence when you get home, wondering why your phone feels so quiet. I see the way you try to explain what I am doing in you, and people look at you like you are exaggerating, or like you are being too deep, or like you are creating problems that do not exist. I see the way even family can love you and still not understand you. I see the way friends can mean well and still speak from an old version of you, an old appetite, an old assignment, an old capacity. And when they cannot recognize who you are becoming, you start questioning yourself. You start shrinking again. You start editing your faith. You start doubting your discernment. So I quiet the crowd, my child, because I am protecting your next yes. Do you hear me? This is not rejection. This is reduction. This is not abandonment. This is alignment. I am not taking people from you because I want you empty. I am making room in you because I want you ready. There are voices you used to trust that cannot travel with you into the next season, not because they are evil, but because they are attached to the old narrative. They remember you as the one who always stayed, the one who always settled, the one who always explained yourself, the one who always overgave to prove you belonged. And if I allow those voices to stay loud while I am giving you new instructions, you will confuse their comfort with my counsel. You will confuse their familiarity with my favor. So I separate you so you can hear me without interference. Because in the quiet, I detox you. In the quiet, I remove the residue of what was spoken over you. In the quiet, I wash off the labels you wore just to survive. In the quiet, I break agreements you made with fear, agreements like, I must stay where I am tolerated, and I must be small to be safe, and I must perform to be loved. In the quiet, I rebuild your confidence the right way. Not confidence rooted in applause, not confidence rooted in being needed, but confidence rooted in obedience. Confidence rooted in identity. Confidence rooted in knowing, if God said it, then I am not crazy. If God is leading me, then I am not lost. And yes, it hurts sometimes, because you are human. You can know it is me and still miss what was familiar. You can be grateful for the separation and still grieve the closeness you thought you would have forever. You can love people deeply and still outgrow the space you used to share with them. So let me comfort you. You are not cold. You are not arrogant. You are not too good. You are simply being repositioned. What you are feeling is the stretching of transition, the ache of becoming. And I am right there with you in it. I am not watching you from a distance, my child. I am holding you while I prune what cannot bear fruit in the next place. Because this is what separation does. It refines your ear. When you are surrounded by too many opinions, you start praying like a committee. You start negotiating my instruction with people who were never called to vote on your destiny. You start asking 10 different humans for confirmation while ignoring the one spirit who already spoke. So I reduce the noise. I shorten the list. I make it so you cannot lean on constant company as a substitute for intimacy with me. Not because I am trying to make you lonely, but because I am trying to make you led. And in this season, I teach you obedience in small things, because public expansion requires private discipline. I teach you how to move without needing everyone to clap first. I teach you how to keep your word to yourself. I teach you how to show up when no one is watching. I teach you how to be consistent in prayer, consistent in rest, consistent in wisdom, consistent in boundaries, because where I am taking you, you cannot afford to be pulled by every emotion and every voice. Where I am taking you, you must be anchored, and that anchor is not people, that anchor is me. This is why the separation often feels quiet. This is why it can feel like nothing is happening, when in fact, everything is happening. I am doing deep work in you that cannot be rushed. I am making you strong in the hidden place, so you do not collapse in the visible place. I am teaching you how to stand without leaning. I am teaching you how to say no without explaining. I am teaching you how to grieve without going backward. I am teaching you how to trust me without needing constant proof from man. And let me speak identity over you while the room feels empty. Chosen people are often moved quietly before they are seen publicly. I do not always announce what I am doing in you right away, because I am protecting it. I am protecting your seed from being trampled by careless feet. I am protecting your confidence from being bruised by premature exposure. I am protecting your faith from the strain of too many eyes watching you grow. There is a reason the roots go down in secret before the tree is seen in the open. There is a reason I build you inwardly before I elevate you outwardly. There is a reason I let you be alone with me before I let you be known by many. So do not interpret this quiet as a sign that you are behind. Do not interpret the distance as a sign that you are forgotten. Do not interpret the fewer calls, the fewer invites, the fewer familiar conversations as proof that you are losing. Hear me. Sometimes I remove the crowd because I am about to increase the assignment. Sometimes I close social doors because I am opening spiritual ones. Sometimes I cut off distractions because I am about to give you direction. Let the separation do its work, my beloved child. Stop reaching for noise just to numb the ache. Stop running back to old circles just to feel chosen for a moment. Stop reopening doors I closed just because the silence makes you uncomfortable. Sit with me. Let me speak. Let me heal the part of you that still believes you need permission to become who I called you to be. Let me remind you that you are not being isolated to be harmed. You are being insulated to be strengthened. Because I am about to lift you, and I will not lift you while you are still tied to what will pull you back down. I am about to expand you, and I will not expand you while you are still carrying voices that make you doubt your own calling. I am about to shift your ground, and I will not let you step into new soil with old weights on your shoulders. So yes, I pulled you aside. Yes, I made it quiet. Yes, I separated you. And it is not because you are losing people, it is because you are gaining clarity. It is because you are gaining courage. It is because you are gaining the kind of strength that does not need constant company to keep moving. Stay close to me in this season, and you will see it. The separation was the setup. The quiet was the covering. The loneliness was the lesson. And when you step into the place I prepared, when I open what no man can shut, when I align you with the right field, when I connect you with what actually carries your future, you will look back and understand why I had to pull you away before I lifted you up. And now, my beloved child, because I have pulled you close, because I have quieted the room, because I have been teaching you to hear me without the noise, here is what you are feeling next. And you have been trying to hide it even from yourself. You are afraid, not because you do not love me, not because you are faithless, not because you are ungrateful. You are afraid because you are standing at the edge of the familiar, and everything in your body is trained to survive by staying where it already knows the exits. I see your hesitation. I see the way you go back and forth in your mind at night, replaying the same questions like a loop you cannot turn off. What if I leave and my family doesn't understand? What if I start over and it takes too long? What if I move and the money doesn't stretch? What if I lose the support system I leaned on? What if I fail and I have to come back embarrassed? I see the spreadsheet you keep rewriting. I see you trying to calculate peace. I see you looking for a guarantee that will silence every doubt before you obey. And listen carefully. I am not offended by your fear. I am not shocked by your trembling. I made you human. And I know what it feels like to step into something you cannot fully see. But hear me, and let this settle your chest right now. The fear you feel is not a stop sign. It is proof you are leaving the familiar. Fear rises at the edge of new territory. Fear speaks loud when you are about to cross a threshold. Fear shows up when you are about to break an agreement with smallness. When you are about to stop letting your life be decided by what is comfortable. When you are about to step out of what you can control and into what requires trust. So do not call fear a prophecy. Do not call fear confirmation that I am not in it. Fear is a normal companion of transition, but it is not a reliable indicator of my absence. Because if fear was the measure of calling, Moses would have never approached Pharaoh. If fear was the measure of obedience, Peter would have never stepped out onto the water. If fear was the measure of purpose, Esther would have never walked into that room. I have never demanded that you feel nothing before you follow me. I have only asked that you trust me more than you trust what you feel. I have only asked that you place your yes in my hand, even while your knees shake, even while your voice trembles, even while your mind asks, how? And I need you to hear this with tenderness. You have been interpreting your fear as wisdom, but sometimes it is only familiarity protecting itself. Sometimes what you call being realistic is actually your old environment trying to keep you planted where you are manageable. Sometimes what you call stability is really bondage with a schedule. It is a cage with a routine. It is a ceiling you learned to decorate so you would not have to grieve the fact that you outgrew it. And I am not shaming you for wanting security, my child. I am correcting the lie that says, if it feels scary, it must be wrong. No, many things that are wrong feel familiar, and many things that are right require courage. Do not confuse comfort with calling. Comfort will keep you where you are tolerated. Comfort will keep you around what you have already mastered. Comfort will keep you repeating the same cycles because at least you know what the pain will be. Comfort will tell you, stay, because you know how to survive here. But calling will whisper, come, because you were made to live. Calling will stretch you, not to break you, but to free you. Calling will pull you out of what is predictable, so I can place you in what is prepared. And yes, leaving can feel like tearing, leaving family dynamics you have carried for years, leaving a role you have played so long you forgot it was a role, leaving a city that holds memories, even if those memories are heavy, leaving a job that pays but drains you, leaving relationships that feel like home, even when home has become hostile to your growth. I see you holding the guilt. I see you worrying about who will think you are selfish. I see you worrying about who will say you changed. And I am telling you with protective love, you are allowed to obey me without getting everyone's permission. You are allowed to follow my voice even when others prefer your convenience. You are allowed to grow even if it makes people uncomfortable. And about money, because that fear has been pressing on you, listen carefully. I know you have responsibilities. I know you have bills. I know you are trying to be wise, and you should be. But do not let the fear of provision make you disobey the one who provides. Do not let your need for control become a substitute for faith. Where I guide, I provide, and I am not leading you into a place where I will leave you hungry, stranded, and ashamed. I may not show you 10 steps ahead, but I will light the next step. I will send the right information. I will send the right timing. I will send the right helpers. I will open what needs to open, and I will close what would have trapped you. And I will do it in a way that teaches you to trust me, not in a way that humiliates you. I am holding your hand, my beloved child. Do you hear me? You are not walking into the unknown alone. I go before you. I am already in the place you are afraid of. I am already preparing the conversations. I am already arranging the connections. I am already making space where you thought there would be none. And even if you have to start over, you will not start from scratch, because you are not taking nothing with you. You are taking wisdom. You are taking discernment. You are taking strength. You are taking the oil I placed on your life. You are taking everything you learned in the season you survived. Starting over with me is not failure, it is alignment. So when the fear says, what if you fail? You will answer it with truth. What if I finally become who God has been forming? When fear says, what if they don't support you? You will answer it. God will be my support, and He will send what I need. When fear says, what if you regret it? You will answer it. Obedience will never be my regret. And when fear tries to make you worship the familiar, you will remember. I did not deliver you just to keep you comfortable. I delivered you to make you free. Let me give you instruction, simple and steady. Stop using fear as your compass. Use my peace. Use my patterns. Use my provision. Fear will always have an opinion when you are about to grow. Fear will always speak when you are about to leave what you have known. But I did not call you to be led by the shaking. I called you to be led by my voice, and my voice will never contradict my character. I am not pushing you off a cliff. I am leading you onto a path. Breathe, my child. Unclench your jaw. Let your shoulders drop. You do not have to feel fearless to be faithful. You only have to keep your hand in mine. And I am telling you now, prophetically and gently, the fear you feel is not proof you are making a mistake. It is proof you are stepping out of what was familiar and into what I have been preparing. And you will not go alone. You will not be forsaken. You will not be abandoned halfway. I will steady you as you move. I will strengthen you as you obey, and I will meet you on the other side of your yes with the kind of peace that cannot be faked. And now, my beloved child, because you are standing at the edge of the familiar, because your feet are already pointed toward obedience even while your heart is still learning how to breathe, I need you to understand something that will save you from unnecessary pain. Some people cannot go with you because they are attached to your old version. They are not necessarily wicked, they are not necessarily your enemy, but they are anchored to who you had to be to survive, and where I am taking you. You will not survive, you will live. And the version of you that is learning to live cannot keep submitting itself to relationships that only know how to handle you when you are shrinking. I see the way you have been trying to carry everyone with you. I see the way you keep giving explanations, hoping they will understand your growth. I see you rehearsing conversations in your mind, trying to find the perfect sentence that will make them clap for what I am doing. And it has been breaking your heart, because the more you change, the more some people resist you. The more you heal, the more they accuse you of being distant. The more you set boundaries, the more they call you selfish. The more you protect your peace, the more they say you have changed. Listen carefully, my child, you did change. You changed because I am growing you. You changed because I am answering prayers you cried about in private. You changed because I am removing the survival from your voice and putting strength in your backbone. Do not apologize for becoming who I have been forming. There are people who only knew you when you were accessible to everyone, available for anything, quick to forgive without wisdom, quick to return to what hurt you because you were afraid of being alone. They knew the version of you that over-explained, overgave, overstayed. They knew the version of you that kept the peace by betraying your own. And when I begin to lift you out of that pattern, when I begin to relocate you internally and externally, it threatens the comfort they had with your old posture. Some people did not love your calling, they loved your compliance. Some people did not cherish your presence, they benefited from your lack of boundaries. And I am not saying this to make you bitter. I am saying this to make you free. Hear me. Relational pruning is part of relocation. Because environment is not only a place on a map. Environment is also who has access to your ears, who has access to your time, who has access to your emotions, who has access to your decisions. And if I am shifting your ground, I must also shift your gates. Because the same hands that kept pulling you backward cannot be the hands you hold while you step forward. The same voices that normalized your smallness cannot be the voices you consult when I am calling you higher. I am not removing you to punish you. I am removing what would poison your next season. I know it feels like heartbreak. I know it feels personal when they stop calling, when the invitations change, when you realize you are always the one reaching, always the one fixing, always the one proving. I see the sting when you are misunderstood. I see the lump in your throat when you feel the distance. I see you wondering, did I do something wrong? And I am answering you with tenderness. No, sometimes you did not do something wrong. Sometimes you did something right, you obeyed me. You stopped tolerating what I never assigned you to carry. You stopped making agreements with dysfunction just to keep familiarity. And when you stop being available for what drains you, the drainers will call you unloving. When you stop being the rescue, the ones who benefited from your rescuing will call you cold. But I call you aligned. Let me give you language, because I am a God of wisdom, not just feelings. You can honor people without staying planted in limitation. You can love them without letting them lead you. You can bless them without giving them your access. You can forgive them without reopening the door. You can appreciate what they were in one season without forcing them into the next. You do not have to demonize them to obey me. You simply have to discern. You simply have to recognize. Not everyone is assigned to your future. Some people were only assigned to your survival, and now that you are transitioning into promise, their assignment ends. So when they try to pull you back with guilt, you will not collapse. When they say, you think you're better, you will not argue. When they say, you've changed, you will not panic. You will breathe, and you will say, I am growing. And if you need words, take these. I love you, but I can't keep shrinking. I'm grateful, but I can't go back. I honor what we had, but I have to obey God. I can't explain what God is doing to someone committed to misunderstanding me. I'm not available for this dynamic anymore. My child, boundaries are not rejection. Boundaries are protection. Boundaries are how you keep your oil from being spilled in rooms that only value you when you are empty. And listen carefully, because this is where the enemy tries to confuse you. You will be tempted to think that loss means you missed me. You will be tempted to interpret separation as failure. But I am telling you the truth. Separation is often proof that you heard me. Sometimes I close relational doors because if I leave them open, you will keep returning to the same cycle and calling it loyalty. Sometimes I allow distance because I am keeping you from being manipulated back into a role you have outgrown. Sometimes I remove access because I see what you cannot see, what their jealousy would do to your confidence, what their negativity would do to your faith, what their constant need would do to your capacity. Closed access is not cruelty. It is coordinates. It is protection. And yes, you will grieve, because you are not made of stone. You will miss the laughter. You will miss the history. You will miss the version of them that felt safe. But you will not confuse history with destiny. You will not confuse familiarity with assignment. I am teaching you to release with clean hands, not in rage, not in spite, but in obedience. You are allowed to leave without slamming the door. You are allowed to walk away without a speech. You are allowed to outgrow without a fight. Because I am not only moving you out of old spaces, I am moving you into new alignments. And this is the part you have been afraid to believe. When I reduce certain connections, it is because I am making room for new ones. I am realigning your community. I am bringing new mentors who will not compete with you, but will cover you. I am bringing peers who will not drain you, but will sharpen you. I am bringing divine connections, people who speak your language, who recognize your oil, who are not threatened by your growth, who do not require you to perform to belong. I am bringing relationships that feel like watering, not warring. And you will know it is me, because you will not have to beg for room. You will not have to audition for love. You will not have to shrink to be kept. So let this settle in you now. I may change your environment by changing who has access to you. I may protect your relocation by pruning your circle. I may preserve your future by removing what keeps trying to pull you into your past. And it will feel like loss at first, but it is not loss, it is lifting. It is me, clearing space around you so you can hear me, so you can move freely, so your gift can finally breathe in the right soil. Do not chase the ones I am asking you to release. Do not explain yourself into exhaustion. Do not trade your peace for their approval. Keep your eyes on me, my beloved child. Keep your hand in mine. And as you move forward, I will send the right people at the right time, aligned hearts, aligned assignments, aligned friendships, because where I am taking you, you will not be surrounded by those who only remember your pain. You will be surrounded by those who can recognize your promise. And now, my beloved child, because I have been teaching you not to chase what I have asked you to release, because I have been closing access that would pull you backward, I need you to lift your eyes higher than what you are losing and see what I have already prepared. Listen carefully. I am not only moving you away from what drains you, I am moving you into what will develop you. I am not only removing you from the wrong soil, I have already prepared the right ground. I have already gone ahead of you. I have already made room. And yes, there is a place with your name on it. You have been afraid that when you let go, you will fall into emptiness. You have been afraid that when you stop forcing, nothing will come. But I am telling you the truth. I do not call you out to abandon you. I call you out to align you. I do not uproot you to expose you. I uproot you to replant you. Because your gift cannot keep growing where it keeps getting fought. Your calling cannot keep thriving where it keeps getting questioned. Your oil cannot keep pouring in rooms that only clap when you are quiet and punish you when you are honest. I have watched the way you have had to defend what I gave you. I have watched the way you have had to over-explain your heart, your intentions, your faith, your boundaries, your depth, and I am saying, enough. Not because you are weak, but because you are precious to me, and I will not allow what I placed inside you to wither in the wrong environment. There is a place I prepared where your voice will not be treated like a threat. There is a field I prepared where your gift will not be tolerated, it will be invited. There is a ground I prepared where you will not have to perform to be seen, where you will not have to beg for basic respect, where you will not have to shrink just to fit at the table. I am sending you into rooms where your presence will be recognized, not resisted, where your ideas will be received, not ridiculed, where your growth will be celebrated, not competed with, where the very thing that made you feel too much in the wrong soil will be the very thing that becomes valuable in the right soil. And hear me, because this will calm the part of you that has been bracing for chaos. In the place I prepared, favor will feel steady, not frantic, not unstable, not like you have to hustle to keep it, not like you have to beg to maintain it. In the wrong soil, everything feels like striving to be understood, striving to be chosen, striving to be included, striving to be safe. But in the right soil, what is? Mine will meet you. What is aligned will not require you to chase it down. Opportunities will not run from you. Doors will not mock you. People will not make you prove you belong. There will be an ease that does not come from laziness, but from alignment. You will look up and realize you are breathing again. You will realize you are creating again. You will realize you are hearing me again. Because you are no longer spending your strength, surviving what I never assigned you. I know you have questions. I know you want details. I know you want to see the full map before you take the next step. But I am a father, and I do not tease my children with vague hope. I am telling you this because it is true. I have already been in that place. I have already touched the hearts that will recognize you. I have already arranged the conversations you think you have to force. I have already prepared provision that will meet you at the right time. I have already gone before you. And I am not asking you to manufacture a future. I am asking you to walk into one I have been building while you were crying, while you were waiting, while you were doubting, while you were trying to be faithful in a season that felt unfair. And yes, the transition will stretch you. Yes, it will require courage. Yes, there will be moments when your old life tries to call you back with nostalgia. But do not confuse discomfort with danger. Do not confuse change with loss. Because what I am doing is not taking life from you, it is giving life to you. I am moving you into a place where you will be watered, not warred with, where you will be supported, not sabotaged, where your gift will be strengthened, not starved, where you will not have to spend your days recovering from the environment you are in. You will spend your days building what I placed in you. And I need you to hear my promise again, because some nights you feel alone in your decision. Some mornings you wake up and your chest gets tight because you realize you really are changing. So let my word be the blanket over your mind. I will never leave you, nor forsake you, not in the packing, not in the goodbyes, not in the awkward in-between, not in the first week where everything feels unfamiliar, not in the first month when you are learning new rhythms. I will not leave you halfway. I do not guide and then disappear. I do not speak and then go silent to punish you. I stay, I cover, I lead, I provide. Even when you cannot see the whole road, you will feel my hand. Even when you cannot predict the outcome, you will recognize my peace. So stop fearing that you are stepping into nothing. You are stepping into prepared ground. Stop fearing that you are late. I have timed this. Stop fearing that you will be forgotten. I have written your name on doors you have not even knocked on yet. And the sign that you are close is this. What used to satisfy you cannot hold you anymore. The sign that you are near is this. You cannot pretend like you fit where you have outgrown. The sign that you are ready is this. You are tired of fighting for what should have been flowing. I am not just moving you away from the wrong place, my beloved child. I am moving you into the right one. I am not just ending what drained you. I am beginning what will develop you. And you will know it is me, because you will not have to force what belongs to you. You will not have to chase what is aligned. You will not have to beg for room. In the place I prepared, you will feel the difference. Your gift will breathe. Your spirit will settle. Your steps will be ordered. And you will look back at what you thought was loss, and you will finally understand it was me, protecting you, repositioning you, and planting you where you can grow the way I always intended. Now, my beloved child, because you have heard me, because something in your spirit has already stood up and said, yes, I am going to give you wisdom for what to do right now. Not tomorrow when you feel braver. Not later when you have the perfect plan. Right now, because relocation does not begin with suitcases. Relocation begins with surrender. It begins with an inner move before an outer move. It begins when your heart stops clinging to what I am asking you to leave, and your mind stops rehearsing the pain like it is your identity. So listen carefully, and let this be gentle but firm. Forgive what happened there. Forgive what was said. Forgive what was withheld. Forgive what was promised and never delivered. Forgive the way you were overlooked. Forgive the way they made you feel small. Forgive the way you had to keep restarting, keep proving, keep explaining. Not because they were right, not because it didn't matter, but because I will not have you drag bitterness into new soil and call it wisdom. I will not have you carry old wounds into a new season and then wonder why you cannot receive what I am sending. Release it, my child. Put it in my hands. Let me be the judge. Let me be the defender. Let me be the one who repays. Because if you keep drinking from the cup of resentment, you will stay thirsty even in a land of provision. And as you forgive, I need you to release the old place with clean hands. Not with guilt, not with self-punishment, not with 1,000 what-if thoughts. Some of you keep feeling like you owe the past your future. You keep thinking, if I leave, I'm ungrateful. But hear me, honoring a season does not mean staying stuck inside it. You can thank what it taught you without living where it wounded you. You can appreciate what I did there without making it your forever. Close the chapter without hating the book. Bless it and let it go. Because what is ahead of you requires lightness. It requires room in your chest. It requires peace in your decisions. Now, after the inner move, I will show you the outer steps. Because I am not only the God of prophecy, I am the God of order. Faith is not denial. Faith is obedience with wisdom. So do what you can do in the natural, while you trust me in the supernatural. Research the area I have been putting on your heart. Learn the rhythms, learn the cost, learn the neighborhoods, learn the opportunities. Do not romanticize it, do not fear it. Simply get understanding. Because I do not call you to leap blindly, I call you to walk with me wisely. Make a plan, my child. Write it down, not as a prison, but as a pathway. Look at what you have, look at what you need. Create a savings goal, even if it starts small. Be faithful with little, because little becomes much in my hands. Cut what drains you. Pause what is unnecessary. Simplify where you can. This is not lack, this is focus. This is you telling your future, I am making room for you. And as you save, and as you prepare, ask me for strategy. Ask me for insight. Ask me to show you what to keep and what to release. Because I can stretch what you think is not enough, and I can also warn you where you are leaking. Update what represents you. Some of you have been carrying old versions of your own story. Update your resume, update your portfolio, update your applications, update your profile. Not because you are begging for acceptance, but because you are preparing for what I am opening. Present yourself like someone who is moving forward, not like someone who is still apologizing for surviving. Take time to sharpen your skill. Take time to learn what you need to learn. Take the class. Finish the certification. Make the call. Send the email. Apply again. This is not you forcing. This is you aligning. Because when I say move, I also empower you to prepare. And I need you to pay attention to your spiritual posture while you do these steps. Shut down distractions that keep you numb. Because some of you have been scrolling to avoid feeling the truth. Some of you have been staying busy so you don't have to be brave. But I am calling you into clarity. Create quiet again. Turn off what is loud. Put boundaries around your time. Protect your mornings. Protect your evenings. Pray until your spirit is settled, not until your anxiety is entertained. Ask me. Father, make it plain. Remove confusion. Confirm what is you and expose what is not. And then listen. Because I still speak, I still guide, I still direct those who are willing to be still long enough to hear. And hear me on this, because it will save you. Stop announcing prematurely. Stop handing your sacred maybe to people who are committed to your fear. Stop telling everyone your next step while it is still in seed form. Because some people do not water what I am planting, they question it until it feels heavy. They don't mean to be evil, but they are not anointed to hold your transition. They will plant doubt with one sentence. They will call caution what is actually cowardice. They will call being realistic what is actually unbelief. Guard what I am birthing. Let it grow in prayer before it grows in public. Speak to me first. Speak to wise counsel I assign, not to curious voices who want details but cannot carry intercession. And I am going to give you one more instruction, simple and steady. Take one obedient step at a time. Stop demanding a full map before you move your feet. I guide in increments. I give daily bread, not yearly storage. I show you the next step, and when you take it, I reveal the next. This is how trust is built. This is how dependency becomes intimacy. You keep trying to force certainty because you want to control what happens. But I am teaching you to walk with me, not ahead of me. So do not despise small obedience. One phone call, one application, one budget adjustment, one conversation, one box packed, one prayer prayed with sincerity, one boundary held, one day of focus, one night of rest. These are not tiny acts. These are the bricks of a new life. And when you feel overwhelmed, when your mind starts racing, when the old place tries to pull you back with fear or nostalgia, breathe and remember this. I am not rushing you, but I am moving you. I am not confusing you, but I am clarifying you. I am not removing you to harm you. I am relocating you to align you. So move in your spirit first. Let your heart agree with me. Let your forgiveness be real. Let your release be complete. And as your inner world aligns, watch how your outer world begins to open in order. I will order your steps, my beloved child. I will send confirmation. I will send timing. I will send the right information at the right moment. But you must stay close, and you must stay honest. Do not carry what I told you to drop. Do not keep drinking from what made you sick. Do not keep calling it loyalty when it is bondage. Move with me quietly, steadily, obediently, because as you take the next right step, you are going to realize something that will calm you. You are not trying to escape. You are responding to my alignment, and I will make the way clear, one obedient step at a time. Now, my beloved child, before we go deeper, before I begin to seal this relocation with declarations, before I begin to speak peace over your mind and courage over your feet, I want you to respond in agreement. Listen carefully. Your engagement is not a metric. It is not you helping a video. It is a moment of alignment. It is you saying, God, I hear you, and I am ready to be positioned. Because there is power when your spirit stops only listening and starts agreeing. So if this word is touching the place in you that has been restless, if this message is naming what you could not explain, I want you to like this right now. Do it as an act of surrender. Do it as a signal in the atmosphere that you are not resisting my hand anymore. You are not clinging to the wrong soil out of fear anymore. You are letting me relocate you to align you. Like it and let it be your quiet yes, your simple amen, your small obedience that opens the next instruction. And if you know you are in a transition season, if you have been walking through closed doors, strange delays, sudden separations, and you need continued confirmation, subscribe. Not because you need another voice to entertain you, but because I am steady in guidance, and I will keep meeting you with direction. When the enemy tries to interpret your closed door as rejection, I will remind you it is protection. When your emotions rise and you feel tempted to run back to familiarity, I will send another word to anchor you. Stay close, my child. Let this be part of how you guard your faith in a season that requires consistency. Now I want you to do something that seems simple, but it is spiritual. I want you to write it. I want you to put it in the comments as a declaration, because there is a difference between thinking it and agreeing with it. Type, I receive new soil. Or type, God is aligning me. And do not type it like a phrase. Type it like a signature, because when you declare it, you are not informing people, you are speaking to your own spirit. You are telling your fear it does not get the final word. You are telling your past it does not get to hold you hostage. You are telling heaven, I am in position to receive what God prepared. And I am watching how some of you hesitate even here. I see it. You are thinking, what if it doesn't happen? You are thinking, what if I get my hopes up again? But hear me, agreement is not arrogance. Agreement is trust. Agreement is you letting me lead without you needing to control the outcome. And when you comment that declaration, you are drawing a line between the old place and the new place. You are saying, I will not keep shrinking to stay comfortable. I will not keep begging for room. I will not keep forcing what was never mine. My beloved child, your words matter. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and I am teaching you to speak like someone who is moving forward. And one more thing, softly, gently share this with someone you love who has been feeling what you have been feeling. That friend who has been restless and can't explain why. That person who keeps saying, something feels off, I don't fit like I used to, I'm tired, but it's deeper than sleep. Share it with the one who has been staring at closed doors and taking it personally. Share it with the one who keeps outgrowing their environment and calling it failure. Because I am not only relocating individuals, I am awakening families. I am shifting bloodlines. I am calling people out of wrong soil. And sometimes your share is the confirmation they begged me for in prayer when nobody was watching. Do you see it now? This is not just interaction. This is agreement. This is you stepping out of passive waiting and into active alignment. This is you saying, God, if you are moving me, I will move with you. If you are shifting my ground, I will stop planting my roots in what you have already outgrown in me. And as you do, like, subscribe, declare, and share, I am going to meet your agreement with peace. I am going to meet your obedience with clarity. I am going to meet your yes with the next step. So go ahead, my child, seal it. Put your name on this moment. Type it, I receive new soil. Type it, God is aligning me. And breathe, because we are about to go deeper, and what I am about to speak over you will not just comfort you. It will position you. Now breathe, my beloved child, and listen to me like you would listen to a father holding your face in his hands, because you did not just type words, you just aligned your spirit. And when alignment happens, what has been delayed starts to move. When alignment happens, what has been heavy starts to lift. When alignment happens, what has been confusing starts to become clear. I am shifting your ground, and I am telling you now, you will not have to force what belongs to you. I declare clarity over your mind. I declare that the fog is lifting. I declare that the second guessing is breaking. I declare that the racing thoughts will not rule you, because I am giving you a steady mind and a settled spirit. I declare that you will recognize my voice in the midst of many voices, and you will not confuse fear with wisdom anymore. You will not confuse anxiety with instruction anymore. You will not confuse familiar with safe anymore. I am sharpening your discernment, and I am making the next step plain. And I declare courage over your feet. Not loud courage, not performative courage, quiet courage, obedient courage. The kind that gets up and does the next right thing, even while your hands are shaking. I declare that you will not stall in the doorway of your future because of the memory of your past. I declare that you will not keep negotiating with what I already told you to release. I declare that you will move when I say move. You will pause when I say pause. And you will not be bullied by the opinions of people who do not carry your assignment. I am putting backbone in your spirit. I am putting resolve in your yes. I am teaching you to stand up without explaining yourself to every doubter. I declare favor that feels like order, favor that feels like things finally making sense, favor that feels like the right email at the right time, the right call at the right moment, the right conversation crossing your path without you begging for it. I am not giving you chaos disguised as blessing. I am giving you alignment that produces fruit. I declare that doors will open in sequence, not one giant overwhelming flood that drowns you, but door by door, step by step, in my timing, with my peace. And I declare that the doors I open will not require you to shrink to fit through them. You will not have to betray your values to enter what I prepared. You will not have to compromise your integrity to be provided for. You will not have to trade your peace for access. Hear me, blessings do not just fall randomly. They meet you where I position you. They meet you where I send you. And that is why I have been relocating you, because what I have for you is location sensitive. It is assignment sensitive. It is soil sensitive. You kept trying to produce harvest in a place that was never designed to water you, and you called your exhaustion work ethic. But I am changing that. I am shifting you into the kind of ground where what was hard becomes ordered, and what was forced becomes natural. Where you are not fighting for room, where you are not begging to be seen, where you are not chasing what is meant to come to you. So I declare this over you. You are not chasing, you are being sent. You are not wandering, you are being guided. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. I am the one who goes before you, and I am the one who stands behind you, and I am the one who holds you in the middle. I am not asking you to run faster, I am asking you to walk straighter. Because when you are aligned, you will realize you do not have to convince what belongs to you. You do not have to manipulate what is mine for you. You do not have to over-explain your worth. What is for you will recognize you. And I declare helpers are appearing. I declare divine connections. People who will not drain you. People who will not compete with you. People who will not only like you when you are useful. I am sending builders to builders. I am sending aligned hearts to aligned hearts. I am sending favor through people who will open their mouths and speak your name in rooms you have never walked into. I declare that you will not do this transition alone. I will send counsel. I will send support. I will send confirmation. I will send the right kind of community quietly, steadily, without you chasing it, without you begging for it, without you performing to keep it. And yes, my child, I am speaking sudden acceleration. Because some of you have felt stuck for so long that you assume stuck is your personality. You assume stuck is your story, but it is not. It was resistance from the wrong soil. It was delay for protection. It was my hand holding you back from stepping into something that would have cost you more than you could see. And now that you are aligning, now that you are releasing, now that you are obeying, I declare movement. I declare momentum. I declare that what has been stalled will begin to shift quickly. Paperwork, approval, housing, employment, access, opportunity, timing. Things that were no will become yes. Things that were silent will respond. Things that felt impossible will start unfolding with surprising ease. Do not be afraid when it speeds up. Do not panic when you look up and realize, wait, this is actually happening. That is not instability. That is not you being reckless. That is what happens when I remove friction. That is what happens when you stop pouring your oil into the wrong ground. That is what happens when you stop forcing what I never assigned. In the right soil, you will look back and realize it wasn't that you were incapable, it was that you were constrained. And I am lifting the constraint. So receive this, my beloved child. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your breathing slow down. Because control has been your way of trying to feel safe, but I am your safety. Trying harder has been your way of trying to feel secure, but I am your provider. Overthinking has been your way of trying not to get hurt again, but I am your protector. You do not have to grip your future like it will run away. Your future is not running from you. It is being prepared for you, and I am shifting your ground so what belongs to you can finally meet you without resistance. Now stay with me, because we are about to pray. And as we pray, I want you to do one thing. Release the outcome. Not the obedience, release the outcome. Release the timeline you've been choking yourself with. Release the way you think it must happen. Release the need to understand every detail before you move. Just breathe and whisper it in your spirit. Father, I trust you to align me, because I am not only declaring this over you, I am about to seal it with peace. I am about to seal it with discernment. I am about to seal it with provision and courage. And you will walk out of this moment lighter, clearer, and steadier, because I am shifting your ground, and you will not have to force what belongs to you. Now, my beloved child, come closer and breathe with me, because we are going to pray, and I do not want you praying like someone begging in panic. I want you praying like a child held in the hands of a father who sees the whole map. You have been trying to figure it out with a tired mind. You have been trying to interpret every sign while your chest is tight and your thoughts are loud. But I am not the author of confusion. I am not leading you by impulse. I am leading you by peace. And so right now, in this moment, let your spirit settle, because discernment does not live in a storm. Discernment lives in stillness, and I am giving you stillness. Father, in the name of Jesus, I lift up your child listening to me right now. You know the restlessness they could not explain. You know the discomfort that has been sitting on them like a weight. You know the way they have asked, is this you, or is this me? You know the way they have feared making the wrong move, feared losing time, feared disappointing people, feared stepping out and failing. So I ask you, Lord, release discernment that is clean, not discernment poisoned by trauma, not discernment shaped by past disappointment, not discernment that mistakes anxiety for warning, but discernment that comes from your spirit, clear, gentle, steady, and undeniable. Give them wisdom to recognize the difference between holy discomfort and human impulse. Let them not confuse a sudden emotion with a divine instruction. Protect them from rash decisions made out of exhaustion. Protect them from decisions made just to prove a point. Protect them from decisions made because they feel pressured, compared, or behind. Teach them patience without passivity. Teach them movement without panic. Teach them to take one obedient step at a time, and to trust that you are able to correct their course as they walk. Your word says, you will order the steps of the righteous, so order their steps, not their leaps, not their guesses. their steps. And Father, I pray peace over their nervous system. I pray peace over their body, peace over their sleep, peace over their breathing, peace over their appetite, peace over their heart rate, peace over the place in their chest that has been tight for too long. Quiet racing thoughts right now. Quiet mental rehearsals right now. Quiet that loop of what if that has kept them trapped in their head. Let peace become the loudest voice in the room. Let peace rise higher than fear. Let peace outvote anxiety. Let peace sit on their shoulders like a garment, because when it is you, Lord, the instruction may be bold, but the confirmation carries peace. It may stretch them, but it will not shred them. It may require courage, but it will not require chaos. Now, Father, I ask you for clear confirmation. Align the messages around them. Let what they hear in prayer match what you speak through wise counsel. Let what you are showing them in private be confirmed with steady patterns in public. Make the next step plain. If it is not you, close the door completely. No confusion, no lingering, no halfway. And if it is you, open it in a way that brings clarity, not torment. Remove the counterfeit opportunities that look like provision but steal peace. Remove the counterfeit connections that feel exciting but drain their oil. Remove the counterfeit doors that flatter their ego but sabotage their assignment. Do not let them be impressed by what is simply loud. Give them eyes to see what is aligned. Father, I ask you to put a guard over their emotions in this season. When the old place calls them back with nostalgia, remind them why you told them to move. When familiar voices try to speak fear into their faith, strengthen their spine. When the enemy tries to interpret a delay as denial, remind them that delay is sometimes protection, and silence is sometimes your hand holding them back from harm. Let them not chase what you did not send. Let them not force what you did not assign. Let them not settle just because they are tired. Renew them, Lord. Strengthen their inner man. Give them the grace to wait when you say wait, and the boldness to move when you say move. And I speak steadiness over you, my beloved child. Steadiness in your decision-making, steadiness in your prayer life, steadiness in your emotions. You will not be double-minded. You will not be tossed back and forth. You will not wake up brave and go to sleep afraid. Brave and afraid, forward and backward, yes and no. I am stabilizing you. I am anchoring you. I am teaching you how to discern my voice by the fruit it produces, because my voice will lead you into truth. And truth brings peace, even when it challenges you. My voice will lead you into alignment, and alignment brings order, even when it requires leaving what is familiar. So Father, seal this in them, a commitment to obedience, not obedience that needs applause, not obedience that needs everyone to understand, quiet obedience, private obedience, obedience that says, Lord, even if I cannot see the whole staircase, I will take the next step you light. And when they hesitate, Lord, meet them with reassurance. When they feel weak, be their strength. When they feel alone, remind them. You go before them. You stand behind them. You surround them. You are with them in the middle. You will not lead them into a place. You will not sustain them. And I declare over you now, peace will be your confirmation. Clarity will be your portion. Confusion is leaving your mind. The fog is lifting. The tightness is releasing. The fear is loosening its grip. You will know what to do, and you will know when to do it, and you will not have to force it. You will not have to beg it. You will not have to manipulate it. You will simply walk with me, and I will make the crooked places straight. I will confirm you with peace, and I will guide you with my hand. Amen. Now, my beloved child, keep breathing like someone who is safe, because I am not only guiding you with peace, I am sustaining you with provision. I am not the kind of father who points you toward a new place and then abandons you on the road. I do not relocate you to frighten you. I relocate you to align you, and where I send you, I also sustain you. So let the fear that whispers, "But how will I pay for it? How will I find it? What if the doors don't open in time?" be answered right now by prayer, because I am the God who goes ahead of you and makes room. Father, in the name of Jesus, I lift up your child again, and I ask you to meet them in the most practical places, where bills live, where paperwork sits, where deadlines press, where moving boxes feel heavy, where the unknown tries to steal sleep. You know what they need, Lord. You know the exact amount. You know the exact timing. You know what must be approved, what must be signed, what must be released, what must be secured. And I ask you now, provide, not in theory, not in vague hope, Provide in tangible ways: housing, employment, transportation, safe travel, deposits, fees, resources, and help that arrives at the right time with the right instructions. Father, make room for them. Make room in neighborhoods that are safe. Make room in homes that carry peace. Make room in contracts and leases and agreements. Go into the places they cannot see. Go into the offices. Go into the inboxes. Go into the calendars. Go into the decisions being made behind closed doors, and let favor speak for them. Let their application not be overlooked. Let their email not be buried. Let their name rise with weight, not hype weight, not noise. And where there has been delay, I ask you for acceleration. Where there has been, "We'll get back to you," I ask you for response. Where there has been "not at this time," I ask you for a door that opens cleanly, without manipulation and without striving. And Father, I ask you to bless the work of their hands. Some of them need a job. Some of them need a better job. Some of them need steady hours. Some of them need a new assignment entirely. So I ask you, align employment with calling. Give them work that does not crush their spirit. Give them work that does not require them to shrink. Give them work where their gift is valued, where their integrity is protected, where their effort is honored, where their mind is not constantly in warfare. And I speak favor in interviews. Let their words be clear. Let their confidence be steady. Let their presence be remembered. I speak favor in negotiations. Let the right numbers be offered. Let the right benefits be included. Let the right schedule be granted. I speak favor in training and onboarding. Let them learn quickly, adjust wisely, and be surrounded by peace. Father, touch the systems, touch approvals, touch background checks, touch credit reports, touch references, touch documentation, touch visas and permits and registrations and any legal process that has felt like a wall. I ask you to remove unnecessary resistance. I ask you to correct errors. I ask you to release what has been held up. Let every system that has felt cold and impersonal become a place where your hand can still move, because you are not limited by bureaucracy. You are not intimidated by policy. You can turn a decision in a moment. You can cause one person to show kindness, one supervisor to make an exception, one agent to pick up the phone, one reviewer to see what they missed, one employer to say, "Yes, we choose you. Do it, Lord," not so they can boast, but so they can breathe. And Father, I ask you for provision that comes through people destiny connections, not distractions. Send helpers, send movers, send wisdom, send someone who knows the area. Send someone who can point them toward the right place, the right opportunity, the right neighborhood, the right school, the right community. Send mentors who will cover them, not compete with them. Send friends who will pray with them, not pressure them. Send a church family that feels like home. A community that waters what you placed inside them, instead of questioning it. Send divine partnerships aligned, honest, safe people, who are not attached to their old version. People who can celebrate their growth without trying to control it. And I ask you, Father, to protect them as they travel and as they transition. Cover them on the road, cover them in the air, cover them while they sign and pack and move and start over. Keep them from accidents. Keep them from scams. Keep them from rushed decisions made out of panic. Let them sense when something is off. Let them have the courage to say no when something is not clean. And if they must wait, give them patience without fear. If they must move quickly, give them speed without confusion. Order their steps with peace, and let provision meet them on the path of obedience. Now, my beloved child, I want you to hear me clearly while we seal this. You are not being relocated into lack. You are being relocated into alignment. And alignment is not just spiritual, it is practical. It touches money, it touches work, it touches shelter, it touches timing, it touches the right people showing up at the right moment. I am not removing you to harm you. I am relocating you to align you, because your gift cannot grow in the wrong soil. And I refuse to let what I placed inside you wither because you were afraid to trust me with logistics. So I declare over you, provision is coming with peace. Not frantic, not chaotic, not last-minute torment peace. I declare you will have what you need when you need it. I declare that what looks expensive will be matched by resource. I declare that what looks complicated will be met with clarity. I declare that doors will open in sequence, and you will recognize that I went ahead of you. And when you arrive, you will not arrive empty. You will arrive covered. You will arrive supported. You will arrive sustained. You will look back and say, only God could have done this, because it will not be luck, it will be alignment. Father, seal this prayer. Let it settle the place in them that has been bracing for impact. Replace that brace with trust. Replace that dread with expectation. Replace that fear with courage. And let them move as a child who knows their Father is faithful. Faithful to guide, faithful to provide, faithful to make room, faithful to send help, faithful to prepare a place where their gift will be watered and multiplied. In Jesus' name, Amen. Now, my beloved child, come even closer, because this is where many of you get stuck, not because you do not hear me, not because you do not love me, but because you are trying to obey me while carrying guilt like luggage. You are trying to step into new ground while your heart is still tied to old rooms, old conversations, old versions of yourself that had to survive. And I am not rushing you, but I am freeing you, because you can honor the past without staying planted in it. You can be grateful for what a place taught you without letting it keep you. You can love people without letting them become your assignment. So breathe, and let us pray, and let this be the moment you stop apologizing for becoming who I called you to be. Father, in the name of Jesus, I lift up your child as they prepare to release what is familiar, and I ask you first, Lord, to break the guilt that has been clinging to them like a heavy coat. The guilt that says, if I leave, I am disloyal. The guilt that says, if I choose growth, I am selfish. The guilt that says, if I say no, I am unloving. Father, silence that lie. Let them understand that obedience is not abandonment. Let them understand that distance is not dishonor. Let them understand that boundaries are not betrayal. Teach them how to leave with love intact, but chains removed. Teach them how to bless people without being bound to people. Teach them how to release environments without cursing their history, because I did not create them to be a hostage to other people's comfort. Father, deliver them from people-pleasing. Deliver them from the need to be understood by everyone. Deliver them from the fear of being talked about, misinterpreted, or judged. Some of them have stayed too long because they were afraid of what would be said when they finally moved. They have been shrinking so others could feel secure. They have been quiet so others would not feel convicted. They have been delaying so others would not feel left behind. But Lord, I ask you to give them holy courage, the courage to obey you without a committee, the courage to walk away without 1,000 explanations, the courage to choose alignment over applause. Let them know they do not owe their future to their past. And Father, I ask you for emotional closure, because some of them are not only leaving a location, they are leaving an entire season of disappointment. They are leaving years of almost approved, almost hired, almost seen, almost loved correctly, almost stable, almost healed, almost ready. Lord, heal the ache of what did not happen when they wanted it to happen. Heal the grief of the doors that stayed shut. Heal the sting of being overlooked. Heal the wound of betrayal where they gave loyalty and received manipulation, where they gave effort and received silence, where they gave their best and were still treated as disposable. Father, touch that place in them that has been bracing for the next letdown. Touch that place that expects loss. Touch that place that says, if I hope again, I'll be disappointed again. I ask you, Lord, replace that defensive posture with trust. Not naive trust in people, trust in you. Trust that you can lead them without harming them. Trust that you can relocate them without breaking them. Trust that you can restore what was stolen by stagnation. And Father, as they leave, I ask you to bless what they are leaving behind. Yes, Lord, bless it. Bless the old place. Bless the old season. Bless the memories that were good and heal the memories that were painful. Let them not walk out with a mouth full of curses. Let them not carry bitterness like a souvenir. Let them not rehearse old offenses until they poison new friendships. I command every backward attachment to break now in the name of Jesus, every soul tie to pain, every addiction to familiarity, every emotional contract that says, I must suffer here to prove I am faithful. No, my child, faithfulness is not remaining where I have lifted my hand. Faithfulness is following my voice. So Father, let them leave clean. Let them leave with their heart free. Let them leave with forgiveness as a shield, not because what happened was okay, but because they will not let what happened follow them into what you prepared. And Father, I ask you to remove the fear that rises at night when it gets quiet. The fear that whispers, "What if I fail?" The fear that whispers, "What if I regret it?" The fear that whispers, "What if I get there and I'm alone?" Lord, answer that fear with your presence. Remind them that you are not only the God of the destination, you are the God of the transition. You are with them in the in-between. You are with them when they are packing. You are with them when they are signing papers. You are with them when they are making calls. You are with them when they are saying goodbye. You are with them when they are starting over. Let fear lose its authority over their decisions. Let fear stop editing their obedience. Let peace stand guard over their mind. Now, my beloved child, I am going to speak identity over you while you are releasing, because the enemy wants you to interpret this move as proof that you are behind. But hear me, you are not stuck. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are positioned. You are prepared. You are being aligned. You are being protected. You are being moved out of what could not sustain you and into what will multiply you. Do not call yourself unstable because you are in transition. Do not call yourself inconsistent because your desires changed. That was not you giving up. That was me lifting your appetite off of what was no longer your portion. That was me training your spirit to recognize wrong soil. So, Father, I ask you to seal this release with peace in their body. Let their shoulders relax. Let the knot in their stomach loosen. Let their chest breathe again. Let their sleep be restored. Let their nervous system learn safety again. Let them stop scanning for danger in every new opportunity. Let them stop expecting rejection in every new room. Heal their expectation. Heal their imagination. Let them believe again without panic. Let them hope again without torment. And as they walk away, let them walk away with dignity heads up, not because they are proud, but because they are secure in your love. And I declare over you now, my child, you will not be pulled backward by guilt. You will not be pulled backward by nostalgia. You will not be pulled backward by unfinished conversations that were never meant to complete you. You will not keep returning to places I delivered you from, just to prove you can survive there. You have survived long enough. Now you will thrive. I bless your leaving. I bless your release. I bless your yes. And I speak this over your heart. You can honor the past without staying planted in it. You can love without lingering. You can forgive without returning. You can remember without being bound. And as you let go, I will fill your hands with what is next, clean, bright, and aligned. Father, seal it now. Close every door that needs to remain closed in their emotions. Release them from the old expectations. Release them from the old labels. Release them from the old version they had to be to make it through. And as they step forward, let them feel your approval louder than every opinion. Let them hear your voice, clearer than every memory. Let them move without guilt and without fear, because you are the one who called them, and you will be the one who keeps them. In Jesus' name, Amen. Now, my beloved child, I am going to seal this over you, because I do not want you stepping into the next place with a trembling identity, wondering if you will disappear, wondering if you will be forgotten, wondering if this relocation means you have been erased. Listen carefully. I did not move you to diminish you. I did not shift you to silence you. I did not separate you to abandon you. I am relocating you to align you, because your gift cannot grow in the wrong soil, and I refuse to let what I placed inside you keep fighting for breath. I declare over you right now, you will thrive in new soil. Your creativity will return clean, flowing, undivided. The ideas that felt blocked will begin to move again. The words that used to get stuck in your throat will rise with clarity. Your confidence will be rebuilt, not as performance, but as permission. Permission to take up space, permission to be seen, permission to be who I made you without shrinking. Your voice will strengthen, not because you suddenly became fearless, but because you finally stopped trying to bloom under people who only knew how to prune you. I am taking the weight off of your gift. I am taking the strain off of your spirit. I am placing you where what I put in you is recognized, respected, and received. And hear me, my child, because you have been secretly afraid that this transition will make you invisible. You have been afraid that starting over means starting at zero. But I am telling you, this move will not erase you. It will reveal you. I am moving you so you can be seen rightly. I am moving you so you can be named correctly. I am moving you because there are rooms prepared for you that your old environment could not even imagine. There are opportunities aligned with your assignment, opportunities that will not require begging, chasing, proving, or explaining. I am not sending you into obscurity. I am bringing you into order. I am bringing you into alignment. And when alignment happens, doors do not just open, they open with peace. They open with timing. They open with confirmation that whispers, "This fits. This is where you belong." So let this settle in your bones. Your name will not be forgotten, not by me, and not in the place I am taking you. I know you have watched others be celebrated while you were overlooked. I know you have carried a gift that people enjoyed but did not honor. I know you have given more than you received and smiled when your heart was tired, but I am the God who keeps record. I am the God who sees the hidden years. I am the God who remembers every time you showed up with integrity, every time you stayed faithful, every time you kept your heart soft when disappointment tried to harden you. And I am the one who can cause the right eyes to notice you at the right moment without you forcing a thing. I can cause your work to speak. I can cause your presence to carry weight. I can cause your gift to make room for you. And when I do it, it will not be hype. It will be fruit. It will be lasting. Now, I want you to look back over the whole arc of what you have been walking through, because I am giving you understanding, so you do not mislabel your season. What felt like discomfort was guidance. That restlessness was not you being ungrateful, it was me stirring you because you were outgrowing what once fit. What felt like loss was protection. Those closed doors were not punishment, they were coordinates. I was keeping you from rooms that would have drained you, from relationships that would have delayed you, from assignments that looked like opportunity but carried warfare you were never meant to carry. And what felt like delay was preparation. I was strengthening your foundations so that when you arrive, you do not crumble under what you prayed for. I was teaching you discernment. I was teaching you pacing. I was teaching you to choose peace over pressure, alignment over applause, obedience over emotion. And I declare this too, you will not have to keep fighting the same resistance. You have been pushing against walls that were never meant to move. You have been trying to convince people to value you who only valued what they could get from you. You have been trying to flourish in an atmosphere that kept starving your assignment. But in the soil I prepared, what was hard becomes ordered. What was confusing becomes clear. What was forced becomes natural. You will still grow. Yes, but you will not grow with your teeth clenched. You will not grow with your nervous system in panic. You will not grow with constant second-guessing, because I am not only changing your location, I am changing your conditions. I am changing your covering. I am changing the climate around your calling. So sit with my peace right now. Do not rush ahead of me. Do not sprint because you are afraid. Take one step. Say one yes. Make one obedient move at a time. I am not asking you to carry the whole future in your hands. I am asking you to hold my hand. I will light the next step. I will confirm the next door. I will provide for the next need. I will send the next helper. I will give you the next instruction. And as you obey in pieces, you will look up one day and realize you have crossed over quietly, steadily, safely, into the place where your gift is watered, where your spirit can breathe, where your voice is strengthened, and where your life finally aligns with what I showed you. And I speak this final seal over you, my beloved child. You will thrive. You will be sustained. You will be courageous. You will be clear. You will be covered. You will be provided for. You will not be ashamed of your transition. You will not be punished for your obedience. You will not be reduced by your relocation. You are being revealed. You are being positioned. You are being planted on purpose. And in this new soil, I will restore what stagnation stole. I will multiply what pressure tried to crush. I will breathe on what felt dry. I will bring opportunities that match your integrity. I will bring people who do not compete with your calling. I will bring favor that does not require you to compromise. And you will look back and understand, I was never hurting you, I was aligning you, because your gift cannot grow in the wrong soil, and I am the Lord who makes sure what I planted in you finishes strong. Now stay with me, my beloved child, because I do not want you to take this word and carry it alone in silence like a secret you are afraid to believe. I am not just speaking to you, I am gathering you. I am not just comforting you, I am confirming you. And there is something that happens when you put agreement in your mouth and you let community stand with you. Because when you declare it and invite prayer, you stop walking through transition alone. So listen carefully, and do this with faith, not with fear. Go into the comments right now and write one sentence as a seal. Not because I need a metric, not because I need you to perform, but because I am teaching your spirit to come into alignment with what I have spoken. Type it plainly. I am moving into new soil, or type this. God is relocating me to align me. Write it like a door handle you are grabbing by faith. Write it like a stake in the ground. Write it like a line you are crossing. Because some of you have been whispering, maybe, and I am asking you to step into yes. Some of you have been saying, one day, and I am asking you to step into now. Let your declaration be your agreement. Let your words catch up to what I have already been doing in your life. And as you comment, I want you to be specific about what you need prayer for, because I see where the questions have been swirling. Some of you need clarity about the city. You keep asking, where, Lord? Some of you need clarity about the job, what to apply for, what to accept, what to walk away from, what is a blessing and what is bait. Some of you need clarity about timing, because you feel the urgency, but you don't want to move out of panic. Some of you need courage, because the moment you get close to obedience, your stomach tightens and your mind starts making worst-case plans. So tell me, and let others stand with you. Pray for clarity about location. Pray for favor in housing. Pray for peace in my decision. Pray that I won't second-guess what God is confirming. Pray for the funds, the approval, the open door. Put it in the comments, and let it be simple and honest. Because you do not have to be strong in the comments, you just have to be willing. You are not a burden for needing prayer. You are a person in transition, and I do not call you to transition alone. And hear me, I will use this community as a covering to you in this hour. There are people who have walked what you are walking. There are people who know how to pray when your words feel stuck. There are people who will intercede when your family does not understand, when your friends are tired of hearing about it, when you feel like you have to pretend you're fine. Let them pray with you. Let them lift your name. Let them speak peace over your mind. Because I never designed you to carry this season by yourself, and the enemy would love to isolate you so that you interpret my leading as loneliness. But I am giving you witnesses. I am giving you agreement. I am giving you strength through the prayers of others. And if you are in this kind of season, if you are in between what was and what will be, if you are watching doors close and you are learning to read them as direction, if you are feeling that restlessness that will not let you settle back into what no longer fits, then subscribe, my child, not because you are chasing content, but because you are committing to consistency. You are telling your spirit, I will keep hearing what God is saying until my feet match my faith. Subscribe if you need continued words about alignment, about closed doors that are coordinates, about confirmation that comes through peace, pattern, and provision. Subscribe if you are learning how to move without guilt. Subscribe if you are learning how to obey without forcing. Because I will keep feeding you what strengthens you, and I will keep reminding you that your gift cannot grow in the wrong soil. And I am asking you to share this with one person. Yes, one. Do not overthink it. You know who they are. They have been restless. They have been frustrated. They have been facing repeated closed doors. They have been questioning themselves, thinking something is wrong with them, thinking they are failing, thinking they missed their moment. But I am telling you, they are being guided. Send it to them and say, this made me think of you. Because you may be the confirmation they have been begging me for. You may be the interruption that stops them from settling for survival. You may be the voice that helps them recognize that discomfort is not always danger, sometimes it is. My hand pushing them toward what will finally let them breathe. Now let me speak this over you as you take these next steps. You are not alone. I am with you, and I am surrounding you. As you declare, I will steady you. As you ask for prayer, I will cover you. As you subscribe and stay anchored, I will keep your mind from drifting back into fear. As you share and help someone else, I will multiply the courage in you. Because this is what I do, my beloved child. I relocate you to align you. I bring you into new soil, and then I send support, so you don't have to limp into promise by yourself. So go now, comment your declaration. I am moving into new soil, or God is relocating me to align me, and add what you need: prayer for city, job, timing, courage, provision, peace. Let the community stand with you. Let agreement meet you. And walk into this transition like a child who is covered because you are.